Hello, Hammers of War. Wanted to make another opinion video because it's been so long since I've made it. So the very first thing I want to talk about is a new direction for the channel. I once watched a video and I didn't get the name of the channel because I've only seen one of his videos, and he was struggling with the names of the characters where he built a dreadnought and he didn't seem to really know what the name of a dreadnought was, and struggling in that manner. And the truth is, when I first started watching the video, the first couple minutes, I wasn't sure how good it would be. But then he went on to actually build a dreadnought right before my eyes. And sorry, my dog was dreaming. It freaked me out. He actually built a dreadnought right before my eyes. And then he went on to paint it, apply decals to it. And he was such an expert builder and painter that I was just blown away. It changed my life. It gave me a lot of techniques. And he was doing things like the heavy metal team from WarHammer would do with edge highlighting and all that stuff is beyond my skill level. But it really helped me because I haven't seen a whole lot of videos where people have actually built these models. It's just kind of like magically, and it seems really easy for them. All of them are built. But a shout out to Siege Studios. They did a survey where most people find the building of the WarHammer models to be the hardest and most unpleasant part of it. Now, I wouldn't say that's true for me because I used to build models as a teenager, car models, and I have pretty much experience gluing together plastic and everything, although I used to twist the pieces out instead of use a clippers, which is a big advancement, and then using an X-Acto knife to remove where it was attached to the sprue is a big advancement. And I look forward to that challenge, and it gives me the ability to modify things as I build them and everything. So I'm definitely into the building as well. So I'm going to be making videos of me building, and then people will actually be able to see the crazy problems I have. Like, I left a piece of sprue on after something was painted, and I had to remove it, and it was very difficult. And then I popped a piece off that I had to glue back, and what was supposed to probably be a 40-minute video ended up being an hour and 40-minute video. But I want people to see that and know what the struggle is. And then I'm also going to talk about why I do it and why it's worth it. But I also want to do the painting. Now, my painting is very simple. The first thing I want to do is prime the model, the major color that it is. I just ordered gold spray paint so that I could spray paint my StormCast Eternals gold and then just paint the blue parts. I want to do as little painting as I can and leave as much primer as I possibly can. And then the painting of the details is like a paint by number. So at this point in my life, I'm trying to get very good at paint by number, like staying in the lines. That's a really hard part, and fixing whoopses that I make. And then what I do to give it more pop is I use an airbrush. I use an airbrush also to do the primer in most cases, although I had to order the gold as a spray paint. But I want to apply iridescent paint with an airbrush. And this will allow me to kind of have a save point where they're at a certain standard. I mean, probably only my standard, not anyone else's, but they're at a certain standard for me. And then with that coat on there to protect them with the iridescent paint, it'll kind of save where I was at with the paint by numbers. And then I can go back and do edge highlighting and glazing and wet blending and all that kind of cool stuff as I learn to do it. Since I've only been painting 6 months, I'm like a triple threat man: prime, the major color that I want it, paint by numbers, and then spray it with iridescent paint with the airbrush. So I haven't made a opinion video. I'm very excited about Warhammer Fantasy Old World because that's what initially drew my attention to Warhammer, so I'm very excited about that. I don't have my rule book yet. That's the first thing I'd like to get. I wanted to paint vampire counts, and that's not going to be a big part of this, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. I love Soul Blight Vampires, Age of Sigmar, so maybe I can work something out between those two. I was just looking at models for that. I love the new Fang of the Blood Lord Queen, Fang of the Blood Queen or whatever, Fangs of the Blood Queen set that they've offered because it's got bats and dire wolves, and then that really cool model of the vampire, and not the skeletons and the zombies. I'm not really into skeletons and zombies, and I'm not really looking forward to that being a big part of my army or any part of my army whatsoever. So it's kind of going to be weird for me because I know that's kind of a standard thing. Tell me what you think, any advice that you have. I'm pretty much painting things now the way they are on the box as far as the colors for the most part, and then spraying them over iridescent. And then later on thinking about doing those more fancy painter tricks on them. But start out with the box art. At first I was like, well, I gotta paint it different than the box art. So I painted my StormCast Eternals Heldenheimer, the black armor or whatever. I couldn't paint my NightHaunt blue. I had to paint them green. So I had to do something different. I actually did that with Iron Golem too. I painted them a different color because I couldn't paint them the same as the box art. They had a look unique to me. But I think I can paint them now, the color scheme of the box art, and then cover them over with iridescent paint, and they will be unique to me. So I'm kind of excited about that. They will always have my signature on them. And then once I become a better painter and I start doing highlighting and stuff like that, I will cover over a lot of the iridescent and then do what's more subtle and a better approach as far as real artists would tell me to make just a small part of the model that I want to pop iridescent and then have the rest of it be non-iridescent. So I can certainly cover it over and remove iridescence if there's too much of it. For the most part, if you paint transparent over it, the iridescence will still show, but I'm sure you can probably stop that, if nothing else, with a matte shell, or I'm trying to think of the name, coat, a polyurethane coat that's more matte. You can certainly stop a lot of the iridescence just like that and leave it the same color. So even something that can be applied with a brush to stop iridescence. So that's an easy thing to do. 40K, I'm going to be making a lot of videos building and painting Tyranids and Necrons. So I'm hoping that although Age of Sigmar and WarCry is a hard thing to make videos for and get any views, I'm hoping that once the 40K videos are made of building and painting, you all come back and start watching me. So please subscribe and give me a like, and please do anything you can possibly do for me. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to make this be something where it's kind of like a Warhammer blog where I kind of document everything that I do, and you can see me grow in the game. And then eventually I'd like to pull other people in and play games and show the games and the decisions that the players made in order to play them, so that you all could critique our playing and tell us if we made any mistakes. And go through a lot of narrative campaigns I'm really, really excited about. So thank you, Warhammers. Have a good day. Bye.